Pisces, welcome to Yellow Card No Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Pisces, this is going to be a general reading for you, and there's no date on the reading, so I trust that it's meant for you when it comes into your feed. And on today's reading, we're going to be doing a new series, and it's called It's Time to Be Seen. And it really is a series that focuses on visibility. Sometimes there are parts of ourselves that we're kind of hiding and we don't want people to see. And unfortunately, these parts need healed. And so it could be some issue that you're dealing with that you've seen come up before, or a pattern that you've seen come up before, and you'll know what it is. You'll be, when I start talking about it, you'll be familiar with it. But it's like, you've seen it before, and it's like, okay, let's look at what it is, and what is blocking it. Like, what is the challenge around it? Why is number 2 says, what challenges are testing your growth? So what is it that's testing you right now? Like, why are you facing this again right now? There's something here that's saying, it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to move in this certain direction. And you probably know what direction you want to go into, but there's always something that's blocking it. And so we're going to look at what it is. And then we're going to look at what soul gifts did you come here to share? We all came here to share something. And oftentimes it can be, us doing this work. This healing work is definitely part of what we came here to do on this beautiful place called Earth. So in today's reading, I'm going to be using the what did I decide before I came on? I decided with the Tarot of the Abyss. Sometimes I changed my mind at the last second and was like, okay, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Tarot of the Abyss, and then I'm going to clarify that with the Tarot of A.E. White. And then I'm going to pull a Shaman's Dream Oracle card because they have been really good, these oracle cards, in just giving you a final message about the little journey that you're on right now. We're all on a journey, right? And I'm going to leave you with a video at the end that I put on this channel a couple weeks ago about my own shadow work journey and how shamanism has called me. It's one of the gifts that's come out besides my tarot. And so it's a new gift for me, and I've been taking, lots of courses with it, and I have a special offer for you on the video, so you can have a look at that at the end. But let's get into your reading right now, Pisces, and I'm going to start off with pulling what part of you is still hiding. Card for you. One card for Pisces. Part of Pisces is still hiding. There we go. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. What challenges are testing your growth? So this is going to come from, your shadow, your childhood, your adolescence. The 10 of Wands. And what soul gifts did you come here to share? Knight of Cups. Let's have some clarifiers. Tell me more about the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, this one. And you have 3 here. Let's see if I can take them. 10 of Wands. Page of Cups in reverse. One more card here. There we go. So this has been coming up quite a bit Five of Swords in my reading. So interesting. Knight of Cups. Couple cards to clarify. There's one and there's the other. You have the Four of Pentacles and the Lover's card in reverse. So that's the first major arcane, I think. Yes, one major arcane on the table, which is the Lover's card. And because it's the only one on the table, I'm going to say it's an important one for sure. They all have important messages, obviously, but major arcana, there's big universal forces that are working in your favor right now, trying to get you to go towards what you're meant to go towards, right? Shaman's Dream, an oracle card for you. One card, please. And we'll look at that at the end. One card for Pisces. You want to come out, I know you do. Oh, thinking. Oh, there we go. Now they all want to come up. I just take one. Okay. I'm going to put that here. I won't even look at it. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. So what part of you is still hiding? You start off with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so here you have this picture of this duality of giving and receiving, right? The beggar and this person that's offering them something. And oftentimes, it's interesting because this beggar can say, well, will you give me $1? And instead of asking for like $5, well, they're just, well, that's all I'm worth is $1. So it really has a sense of worthiness, of self-worth in this card. It also, it talks about the whole thing about giving and receiving as well, right? Like, are you one that gives too much, or are you one that takes too much? Like, you have a balance of the giving and the receiving in this card. So I often see this card as a card of unworthiness, of not feeling enough, not feeling like you matter, not good enough, or and so that's what and it's in reverse because, well, I mean, there's a big resistance to looking at that, and often there is a big resistance to it. And that's why this is coming up for you, because I think this sense of not mattering or feeling unworthy, and if you feel like that, that's what's going to come out, that's what's going to be handed to you often in your own journey. You're going to pull in people that will prove to you that you're unworthy, because it's something that you need to heal. And so behind that comes, and I think, and that's something that probably that you're aware of, where you have this unworthiness, like, I just, I feel like I don't matter. So why would I bother doing anything for myself or getting this out to the world, whatever it is? Because if you feel like you don't matter, then who's going to care, right? Believe me, I've had to deal with that many times. The Knight of Pentacles comes up, and Knight of Pentacles is in reverse, and the Knights in my deck are what I call my freedom fighters. There's a part of you that's fighting to be seen for sure. It has the Pentacle, and the Pentacle talks about our health, our wealth, talks about our ability to be able to ground and to be in our body, to feel our emotions. And so what part of you wants this freedom to be noticed, this freedom to have abundance, this freedom to have good health, this freedom to have a good job? Like, where is this? There's a part of you that wants that, and it's just, I call it like it's an adolescent part of us that comes out and wants the freedom to be themselves, and to be real and to be authentic and who they are. And I think it's in reverse. So I'm going to say that because of this unworthiness that you feel, you probably go through, bouts of hopelessness. I know I did and still do. You would feel like this anger. Maybe you're somebody that has ungrounded anger and wants to get angry at people because you wanted to get angry at people when you were younger. These people that taught you that you're unworthy. Next card that comes out is the Ten of Pentacles, and that is a card of things that are handed down from you, your lineage, right? So it speaks about lineage. These Ten of Pentacles is a Kabbalistic tree of life here. It's from the Jewish culture, and it's a study they do. They study their lineage. They look at their roots. They find out about themselves and who they are. And so there's a real need for you. Maybe you know that there's been some stuff that's been handed down from generation to generation, and you're someone that's inherited it. And so it's very important that we recognize, where is this coming from? Where is this unworthiness coming from? Who gave it to you? Because unworthiness, when we feel unworthy, there's a lot of shame behind that. And I can see the shame here. It's right here in your shadow. And it's right underneath that generation card. And so there's been a lot of shame handed down. And shame is not something we're born with. It's something we're given, right? If somebody has so much shame, well, they feel so shitty about themselves, they're just going to try to dump it on someone else. And so that's how it just gets continued on from generation to generation. You have these belief systems about yourself for sure that you're unworthy. And it's in the Seven of Swords tells me that. It's like, this is called the Thief card that has run away with these belief systems that they've been taught. And the real you left behind right here. Those were the ones right here that are really you, but people told you this. And so you ran away with them, and look how he's holding them by the points, how dangerous that is. And you've continued. You've continued to believe these things about yourself that are not true, that people told you. And it's time that you look at that. Maybe you're in denial about that. You don't realize that this was all handed down to you. It's not true, but you continue to run from it. And then this ends with, and this is all these 3 cards that had to come out, and it was like, am I going to take all these? Ends with the sword, the one sword. You know how I said that the swords are about your belief systems? Well, this is the one sword that is the truth of authenticity, of knowing who you are, of really knowing yourself, and knowing that, you know what, I freaking matter. But right now, you don't feel that. And so it's like the universe wants to take you to a place where you matter, where you actually feel you matter. So who is that authentic you? Imagine that. If you could peel that layer of yourself of not mattering, who would you find underneath that? And so what challenges are testing your growth? What's coming up here from your shadow to heal that's related to you not mattering? Well, here's the Ten of Wands. Look at this individual that's carried this on his back, carried all this suitcase. It's like, it reminds me of, this person carrying all those suitcases of, what's inside your suitcase? What are you carrying? So it tells me that you came from some trauma. There's a lot of stuff here. You came from a chaotic childhood, very difficult childhood, right? You were asked to carry a lot. You were put through a lot when you were younger. And here's this little Page of Cups here is at the center of this reading. And it's sitting here. This is the second reading I've had where it's sitting right in the center of the reading. It's the most powerful card on this table. It's one of your inner children. I have more than one inner child. This is the one that is definitely, if you get the Page of Cups, because there's 4 of them in the deck, but the Page of Cups has the cup in their hand. And that's the cup that is the cup of love. It's the most powerful emotion in the world. Has the highest vibration. And that's why this little part of you, that little part of you that didn't get the love you needed when you were younger, that little part of you that felt like you didn't matter, is sitting here unhealed in your shadow. And so what happens is when that happens, when it's unhealed, when you weren't loved, when you didn't get that love that you needed when you were younger, it's going to continue to spill out in all your relationships, right? You're going to feel like you just don't matter. And you're going to continue to look for that one person that's going to finally love you in the way that you think you're meant to love. But the problem is you keep on inviting and attracting these same types of people from childhood that taught you that you didn't matter because it's not healed yet. And so the Five of Swords comes next. And the Five of Swords, like I said, is sitting right underneath what was handed down to you from your lineage. And you have this, it's in reverse, you have this shady card. I call it a shady card. It has those jagged clouds up there. There's something yucky going on, right? We got to look at the individual that's back here hiding their face because they were just beaten. And these swords, somebody took away their swords. They lost the battle. Yeah, lost the battle. What battles did you lose when you were younger? I often see this card because this is a healing journey. I see this card as a bullying card. You could have been bullied when you were younger. Sometimes, we have to face the fact that we were physically beaten. Sometimes we have to look at that. I've had to mention that only because it's in your shadow. And so it's a bullying card. So how were you bullied? Were you bullied at school? Are you continued to be bullied in your adult life? Because if you were bullied as a child, that's going to continue to come up for you in your jobs and the bosses that you work for, because those are patterns that you had when you were younger. And so you got to go back and you got to heal that little part of you that didn't get that love because you were bullied. You had a difficult childhood and there was some bullying that went on. And so what soul gifts did you come here to share? There's a lot of healing that needs to be done here. There's a beautiful, authentic self that's wanting to come out here, but you continue to believe that you don't matter. And so let's look at what gifts are here for you, Pisces. Well, the first one is this Knight of Cups. And the Knights in my deck, like I said, is that part of you that wants to break free from this conditioning. There's a part of you, an adolescent part of you. Just think of an adolescent that wants to be free to have authentic relationships. There's a part of you that wants to be free to carry that cup of love to somebody. There's a part of you that wants to be loved, right? But, and this is sitting right here. And so I think you came here to break this lineage, right? This part where shame was handed down to you. And finally, you're going to heal you. What is it in you that you need to heal? And it's wanting here. There's a part of you that wants to just run and share your own cup of love. Oftentimes when we start to do this healing journey, we start to develop this compassion for people, and for ourselves too. I think you have the Four of Pentacles, and I feel like there's something that you're trying to hold on to, right? This is called the Miser card. I don't know if this has something to do with money. Is money somehow related to all of this? Oftentimes when we have issues with money, because this is a person that's trying to hoard money. So it could be somebody, you could be sitting with somebody that feels like they don't have enough money, or they can never make enough money, or they just can't get by anything they do. You just don't feel worthy enough to say that money should come my way. Money is a energetic currency. It's meant to flow in when we need it, and then it flows out. It's not something we're meant to hold on to, because that's fear. It's like, what are you holding on to? Is there something that you're holding on to that you need to let go? You being asked to let something go? But in order for money to come in, sometimes we have to look at, okay, where's the trauma around money? Like, was there something related to my childhood here? Do I have trauma around money? Sometimes whenever it's a money issue, there is trauma related there. So, or maybe there's something that you have to let go of. You're being asked to let go of something. You're holding on to something really tight. Maybe it's just this holding on to your belief system of, not mattering. Maybe it has something to do. Like you did start off with this beggar card, the Six of Pentacles, and feeling unworthy, and there's money in there, so maybe this has to do with money here. But then you get the Lover's card, the last card, and I said that this was the only major arcana card in your this deck. And so what is the Lover's card? How do I see the Lover's card? What does it mean for you? And so, the Lover's card for me, it's in reverse, but the Lover's card speaks about a choice. And right now you have a choice. And I'm not, whatever you think, I'm not going to tell you that, you got to put on this happy face and ignore everything here. But for me, the choice is, and it's a card that wants to bring you to wholeness. The choice for you is, you have two parts of you. You have a feminine side and you have a masculine side. It has nothing to do with your gender. Our feminine side is that creative side. It's our emotional side. It's our authenticity. And then the masculine side is that part that keeps us, is our ego self. It keeps us up in our head. Right now you are very much up in your head because you had these Seven of Swords at the beginning here, of like the Thief card of running with these thoughts that people told you, and then you had the Five of Swords, that unworthiness card that came up for you. And so I'm going to say that right now you're very much in your head. You have a choice. You can get to your feminine side, which is that part that is very emotional, that's going to choose to feel some of this pain and shame that people handed you. It's not you. It's not your authentic self, right? And that's what the Lover's card is, because that is what's going to bring us to wholeness. And that's your choice. Do you want to sit in... no one wants to sit in this. I sat for so long, too long in that. But that's what I was told. I was conditioned to believe that I didn't matter. And so that's your choice. Because I think there's a beautiful, authentic side to you that wants to come out right now. And that's what you're meant to share with people, who you really are. And it's a beautiful thing. And so we're going to look at number 41 for you. Beautiful card for you. It's called Moon Maiden, New Beginnings. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet of yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities that you have been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. That's your authentic self wanting to come through. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now it's time to come forward in full splendor. Yeah, the secret of not mattering, right? But you definitely matter. Announce the new you to yourself first. Reveal it slowly to the world, like the waxing moon. Allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. The Moon Maiden belongs only to yourself, and she is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated. And I think of that bullying card right here. And that cannot be tamed or put inside a golden cage. The Moon Maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma. Why do you believe this is so? Be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or a job want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return. That's a beautiful card for you. Pisces, I want you to have compassion for yourself or what you're working through. I know that this is a very difficult journey. But this is the most important journey of your life. And so have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. And stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.